folks. I have read your discussion boards and your papers on quality and have posted feedback in the rubrics in Blackboard for you. I really love this Blackboard discussion that asks you to talk about your journey in nursing and to give some insight into your calling. I love O'Brien's book that really does talk about what it means to be first attentive to God's will in our lives, and then second, that we're willing to walk where we're called. I always love reading the student work with learning about their calling. I thought it was so interesting that some people, like your classmate Sam, knew from a very early age that she was going to be a nurse and never questioned it, just felt that in her heart that was where she was supposed to be. Terry, who was very practical, she needed income, she needed resources, she needed a career, and it fit well with the military model, much like it did with Will, in finding a career path that would be successful and supportive. And then there are others that, like Lee, your classmate, who found their calling through watching someone they love dearly suffer, and that they want it to be impactful and to make a difference in a loved one's life, so that they took the journey because that's where their heart was, in providing care and watching someone they loved suffer. I think I probably line up more with Terry and Will, of not having this linear path that led me to nursing. Personally, I was a single mom. I was young. I needed a career that would open the door for me, and for me at that moment in time not to be afraid, to be independent and take care of my then infant daughter. 23 years later, I cannot believe the opportunities that nursing has given me, and only God could have designed the path that I had to follow to find nursing. Funny, I always thought I was going to be a teacher, and then it took years to find my way back to teaching, but it took me through nursing to get there. And again, I do believe that we are called by God's grace and by God's blessing into our vocation. And if we're attentive to His will in our lives, we are blessed beyond measure, and we use our talents and our gifts in very unique ways to honor God and to glorify Him, and to bring people closer into a relationship with Him. So I think it's great that we were able to talk about your calling. I apologize for Madeline's barking. I normally don't grade it this time because it's romper room in the puppy house right now. So if they get to wrestling, I may disappear for a moment and have to go break up a puppy argument. Okay, let's talk a minute about your quality papers. Quality papers, it's one of those great papers for me to grade because I see all sorts of approaches. I love those of you that took kind of a big picture view of looking at nurse quality indicators is the basics of nursing retention. And there's huge bodies of literature that talk about that the retention of nurses improves the quality of patient care. And some of you drilled down to disease processes, to A1Cs or hypertension. Others of you looked at patient safety, patient falls, pressure ulcers, really at the bedside stuff. All of that's correct. And the value of this assignment is that you really do get to realize that nurses touch almost every corner of healthcare, and that how we approach our care impacts quality at sometimes the very basic level of providing good skin care, all the way to the bird's eye view of monitoring and supporting nurse retention by looking at employee satisfaction, about looking at benefits, that we do it all. And your ability to pull those pieces together was really valuable. So I appreciate your insights in that. When you move forward to do your paper for next week, this is kind of a big bow on a package of what you've learned in this course and what it means to be a Christian nurse leader. I want to caution you that there's some steps in that assignment that kind of tangle students up, one of which is you're asked to talk about the role in nurse leadership with ethics and legal issues. I want to remind you that ethical issues and legal issues are two different things. Things can be highly unethical and highly legal. Things can be legal and not so ethical. So I want you to be able to decipher between those two, not in a great deal of detail, but just address them with the understanding that they're two distinct different things. The other thing I want to remind you that this is a complex paper. You should be using level 1, 2, and 3 headings to break apart and to organize your thoughts in this paper. Let's see if there's anything else. In my weekly announcement, I let you know that I'm extending your due date for this paper till Sunday at 11:59 this weekend. I don't plan to grade your papers this weekend, so there's no reason that you can't have that additional time if you would like to. Please know if you just need to be over with the course and you want to wrap it up on Friday, that is absolutely okay. I just want you to know that you have the additional time if it's something that would be of value for you. You will not lose any points as long as it's done Sunday by 11:59. As you wrap up the course, please do your course evaluation. I know you're busy and the vast majority of you are getting ready to gear up for week 1 in your new set of courses. Please just take a moment and provide feedback. If you haven't felt that this course has met your needs, my hope is that by now you have reached out to me and we've had a conversation about that. If not, please know that I welcome your feedback. I'd prefer to have a one-to-one conversation about it, but if you're not comfortable with that, I still want to know. So please take the time to thoughtfully complete your course evaluations. As future nurse leaders or current nurse leaders, you know that feedback is an essential component of being a nursing leader and to be an effective nurse leader. So please know that I value that. Know that I'm here. I've enjoyed having you. It's kind of odd having just 4 people in a class at this point, but I've loved being able to get to know you and be able to spend a little bit more time working through your work and understanding who you are as professional nurses. If you have any questions or concerns, touch base and let me know. Otherwise, this will be my last video to you. I normally don't do one for week 8 stuff. You'll get an email that says that your grades are posted and your final grades will be posted. But normally these videos are really to kind of develop you and give you ideas on improvement. And I don't really need to do that because you are going to be all grown up and leaving my nest. But know that if you do have questions about your final paper, I'm here. I'm not disappearing. It has been my pleasure. You guys take care.